Edgar Cayce was born on a farm. It was March 18, 1877, near Hopkinsville, Kentucky. His world was one of rolling hills and simple faith. The Cayce family was deeply religious. They attended church every Sunday. Young Edgar was quiet and introspective. He found solace in nature and the Bible. He promised to read the Bible once for every year of his life. He preferred solitude to games. His inner life was different from other boys. He spoke of companions most others could not see. This ordinary life was touched by the extraordinary. From a young age, Edgar claimed to see and speak with spirits. He often spoke about his grandfather as if he were still there. His family was patient, but concerned. A pivotal moment came in his favorite quiet place, the woods. A bright light appeared, and a lady in white asked him what he wanted most. He answered, to be helpful to others, especially sick children. She smiled and vanished. The encounter stayed with him forever. It became his guiding principle. Soon after, strange things began to happen. Knowledge seemed to come in sleep. Once, sent to bed with a spelling book under his pillow, Edgar slept and awoke, knowing every word. He could even tell the page numbers. He had absorbed the information in his sleep. It was the first hint of a power that would one day astonish the world. This ordinary farm boy carried a layered vision of life. For him, the world had more than one dimension. As Edgar grew, he left the farm to find his place in the world. He moved from town to town, working various jobs, bookstore clerk, photographer. He wanted a normal life. Then, at 21, a mysterious illness struck, severe laryngitis. His voice faded to a faint whisper. Doctors were baffled. For over a year he could barely speak and felt despair. A traveling stage hypnotist named Hart came to Hopkinsville and offered help. Under trance, Edgar's voice returned, clear and strong, but the cure lasted only while he slept. A local, Al Lane, wondered if Edgar could diagnose himself in sleep. Lane suggested Edgar put himself to sleep as he had as a child. Skeptical but desperate, he agreed. In trance, a clear voice explained his condition as a psychological paralysis of the vocal cords. It prescribed treatment to increase blood flow to the area. Upon waking, his voice was restored. The result felt like a miracle, and word spread quickly. People wondered, could this sleeping voice help others? This was a turning point in his life. A devout Christian, he worried about the source of the power, dark or divine. He recalled the lady in white and his vow to help others. He chose to proceed, cautiously, and only for those with nowhere else to turn. Requests began to pour in, the ill, the desperate, people with no other hope. The town began to call him the sleeping prophet. They came with all kinds of illnesses, hoping the sleeping voice could help. Al Lane asked for a reading. Edgar lay down and went into trance. The sleeping voice described a precise diagnosis and prescribed a complex remedy. Lane followed it exactly, and was cured. Word spread beyond the town. People traveled seeking readings. In 1910, the New York Times ran a major article. Letters poured in from across the country. A ritual developed. He loosened his collar, lay on a couch, head north, feet south. He placed his hands over the solar plexus and entered a deep, self-induced trance. Gertrude and later Gladys Davis sat nearby, ready to record every word. The voice that answered was not Edgar's waking voice. It spoke clearly, authoritatively, often starting, "We have the body." Stenographers captured thousands of words he would never recall awake. The sleeping Cayce described circulatory, nervous and digestive systems in surprising detail. He pinpointed nerve impingements and imbalances with uncanny precision. He identified body chemistry imbalances before modern tests were common. Treatments were holistic: diets, osteopathy, herbal tonics, massage and castor packs. The aim was to restore balance, not simply suppress symptoms. The readings were a blueprint for total wellness, body, mind, and spirit. He refused to use the gift for personal gain. He treated only those truly in need. The moral compass of his practice guided every reading. He simply wanted to help. As requests swelled, he was overwhelmed and had to decide whether to embrace this destiny. He could no longer treat it as a curiosity. His gift was a calling. Thus, the sleeping prophet emerged into the wider world. The process for a Cayce reading was ritualized and familiar to those close to him. He loosened his collar, lay on a couch, aligned north-south, hands on the solar plexus. He slipped into a trance that appeared like sleep. Gertrude sat nearby. Later Gladys Davis would stenograph each reading. A stenographer was essential because Edgar would recall nothing afterward.
The conductor announced, "You will have before you the body of name located at address. You will go over this body carefully, examining it from the crown of the head to the soles of the feet. You will give the cause of the existing conditions and then the best treatment."
The voice often began impersonal and authoritative. "We have the body.
The sleeping Cayce described circulatory and nervous system issues in depth. He spoke of digestion, eliminations, and subtle imbalances. He identified nerve impingements and suggested osteopathic adjustments. He framed the body as an intricate system of vibrations, energies, and spiritual forces. This language bridged healing and spirituality long before it was mainstream. Many readings were ahead of their time. He frequently recommended specific diets: whole foods, nuts, dates, leafy greens. Massage and osteopathic adjustments were common prescriptions. Herbal tonics, castor packs, heat therapy, and mild electrotherapy were also used. The goal was to treat root causes and restore the body's natural healing ability. Each reading served as a blueprint for integrated wellness. Mind, body, and spirit were addressed as one. Patients written off by doctors often found improvement or healing. The results produced letters, testimonials, and growing fame. Cayce's reputation spread beyond his small town. For the first 2 decades, Cayce's readings focused mostly on physical health. He produced over 9,000 medical readings during his life. The volume and apparent success were remarkable. He helped arthritis patients, those with psoriasis and epilepsy. Even people with cancer sought his guidance. His message: healing comes from within. The body has an innate intelligence. Illness is an opportunity for growth, not punishment. Remedies aim to bring the body back into attunement. In 1923, Arthur Lammers requested readings about metaphysics and astrology. Cayce hesitated. His Christian upbringing made these areas controversial, but he agreed, and the reading changed everything. For the first time, the sleeping voice spoke of reincarnation and the soul's journey. He was shocked. The idea conflicted with his Bible-based faith. He spent months in prayer and study before accepting it. He began to give life readings that described past incarnations. They explained how past lives shaped present talents and difficulties. The purpose: understanding soul purpose and growth. Readings suggested souls choose their circumstances before birth. We choose our parents and the challenges we will face. These are opportunities to learn and balance karmic patterns. For many, this knowledge was empowering. It made life meaningful, not random. It framed life as a purposeful journey toward the divine source. People found hope in the idea of learning and spiritual progression. Beyond healing and life readings, the sleeping voice sometimes offered glimpses into the future. These were warnings and guidance, not cheap thrills. They urged humanity towards spiritual change. He spoke of great changes, shifts in the planet and rising and sinking land masses. He foresaw coastlines changing and cataclysms that would reshape the globe. He even warned of economic and political turmoil, including the 1929 crash. His aim was not to alarm but to urge people to live more spiritually, with brotherhood and service. He preached cooperation over competition. He envisioned science and spirituality working together. One of his most controversial topics was Atlantis, a highly advanced ancient civilization. He described crystals harnessing solar and stellar energies to power cities and vehicles. A people wise in spiritual law, undone by greed and corruption. Their misuse of power brought cataclysmic destruction and a continent lost beneath the sea. Cayce claimed Atlantean souls are reincarnating today to face similar technological challenges. He predicted records would be found in 3 key locations. One would be near the Sphinx, a hidden hall of records, another in the Yucatan Peninsula, and a temple site near Bimini in the Bahamas, where odd stone formations were found in 1968. Those discoveries boosted his mystique and fueled ongoing searches. His prophecies ranged from geology to human consciousness. Above all, he spoke of a coming new age, a spiritual awakening. His message urged service, cooperation, and a future guided by love. He believed humanity could move toward higher consciousness. Ultimately, his prophecies were messages of hope. Edgar Cayce worked tirelessly for over 40 years as demand for readings grew relentless. He was overwhelmed by letters, thousands seeking guidance, especially during World War II. The strain eventually proved too much. In 1944, a reading diagnosed him with severe depletion and prescribed rest. But the rest came too late. Edgar Cayce passed away on January 3, 1945. His secretary Gladys Davis preserved the transcripts. His son Hugh Lynn cataloged them meticulously. Over 14,000 readings were transcribed and archived. In 1931, the Association for Research and Enlightenment was founded to guard his work. The ARE made the readings available for research and study. Today it's a thriving center for spiritual growth and holistic health. Cayce is widely considered a father of the New Age movement. Many ideas now common in alternative spirituality trace back to his readings. holistic health, meditation, dream interpretation, mind-body connection, meditation, dream work, and reincarnation entered popular awareness. He bridged Christian faith and esoteric philosophy for many seekers. Thousands of documented cures and fascinating prophecies kept interest alive. His books have sold millions, his ideas inspire study and practice worldwide. Above all, his work urged service, empowerment, and spiritual purpose. He was an ordinary man with an extraordinary gift who never sought fame or wealth. His only desire was to be helpful, and thousands attest to lives changed. Edgar Cayce's life is a testament to the untapped potential in every human being, the profound mystery that connects us all.